For workers, though, it's less positive. According to projections by the International Labor Organization, wages rose faster last year than the previous 2 years combined, but not as much as the prices have major advanced economies. Workers' purchasing power was lower than last year, and so despite strong demand for workers and ultra-low unemployment, labor's share of economic output shrank in many advanced economies. Economists have noted that pay growth tends to lag behind inflation as workers and employers adjust pay expectations to the prices they have experienced. Home prices are also going up the country. However, looking at the individual markets, some are showing prices have fallen over a year ago. Single-family median home income prices have increased 4% in the fourth quarter from a year ago. And prices were strong in the Northeast for the last quarter, and now it drilled down to the market level. It's clear that in some cases it's necessary for stimulus. We have a ton of news about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSI, SSDI, as well as what the fourth stimulus payment means for you. Joe Biden is working on the finalization of his new plan. The IRS released details for stimulus. Americans may end up receiving bonus checks, and if they've already filed taxes this year, that's good news. The IRS already warned people that if you hadn't received a stimulus check from the state, to postpone filing their tax return until the agency determined if these payments counted as taxable income. The guidance is now available in California taxpayers, and the news is good. The middle-class tax refund checks will not be taxed at the Fed level. Instead, the tax authorities cited the crisis emergency declaration at the White House as a justification for these payments to be treated as a relief program. Since the White House plans to end the emergency declaration, the future these types of payments be subject to federal taxes. And state governments should be aware that when the state of emergency is lifted, any payments made to the residents are likely to be taxed. And recipients should be informed of that fact to ensure they are not caught by surprise when filing the federal returns. Because the majority of state-level payments made last year will not be taxed, and the IRS justified the position by saying the decision is in the best interest of sound tax administration. In addition to residents of the Golden State, those who received the check in Alaska, Colorado, Connecticut, or Delaware, even Florida, Idaho, and Indiana are going to not be required to report the payment as income. And while Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness program is promising up to $20,000 in one-time debt relief for low income, it's now part of the Department of Education to work on a new repayment plan that has the potential to significantly help both current and future borrowers. For many student loan borrowers, everybody, the lesser-known plan, which Biden announced in August, would not only reduce their monthly payments, but also lower the total amount that they pay back over time. Plus, the proposed repayment plan is less likely to face the legal challenges that they have stalled and for Biden's forgiveness plan. Even if the one-time loan forgiveness program is ultimately rejected by the Supreme Court, the new loan repayment plan could have a alternate benefit that is even more generous for some borrowers. A report published by the Urban Institute states that this pending change to federal student loans has the potential to be significant in the long run. That's when President Biden's broad-based forgiveness plan is now on hold by the voters. And now the Department of Education expects to start implementing some parts of the new forgiveness program. In contrast, the proposed repayment plan will benefit the current and future borrowers by lowering the monthly cost and total amount repaid for many of the low income. Currently, there are several different kinds of income-driven repayment plans. The new proposal would amend those, and the revised pay-as-you-earn repayment plan is phasing out for the others. And changes can be made to the purposed and proposed income-driven repayment plan before it's even implemented. But here's how it will work regardless of what happens. Like in existing income-driven repayment plans, enrolled borrowers will be required to pay a portion of their income regardless of how much outstanding debt they owe. The new plan will be lowering the amount of discretionary income that borrowers are required to pay. Under the proposal, it would measure discretionary income differently, increasing the amount of income protected from repayment. So it could help some people out.
Good morning. Hi, Donna. I didn't see you there, kiddo. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. It's probably something I could say about each and every. That's not true. Good morning, everybody. I want to thank Ms. Klein for hosting me in her classroom, as well as for that very gracious and I think right on point introduction. And I want to say to everybody, thank you for having me back in South Brunswick at Brooks Crossing at Dean School. As I say, I not only appreciate your kind words, but I've seen it in action with my own eyes this morning. I want to thank the principal, who we'll come back to in a moment. But you all are doing so much to support our youngest scholars. And again, I just had the pleasure of going into not one but two classrooms and had a great experience. I want to thank our host, Superintendent Scott Fetter, Principal Jamie Macaroon. I always do what the principal tells me to do when I'm in school. And all the educators and staff here at Dean's Elementary School, members of the Board of Education. I want to recognize dear friends in the legislature, Senator Andrew Zwicker. Isn't this not your hometown? It is your hometown. Thank you for hosting us. Assemblyman Roy Fryman, Commissioner Director from Middlesex.
More and more companies, like McDonald's and Chipotle, are raising their minimum wage to help keep their workers. Folks, this is your fourth stimulus check update and news report. In this video, we will be discussing the latest news surrounding a fourth stimulus payment, and of course, a $200 increase in your Social Security benefits. So everybody, just be sure to stay until the end of this video. So several important Republicans criticized President Biden and his policies. The House Republican Conference Chairwoman told reporters that we're experiencing multiple crises with President Biden and Speaker Nancy Pelosi. We have an economic crisis that Republicans are going to fight for on behalf of American families. Everybody, who do you think is holding back our stimulus check? Is it the Republicans or the Democrats? Let me know in the comments below. Everybody, here's what you have to know about the new tax credit. The child tax credit is worth $2,000 per dependent under age 16. It begins to phase out if your AGI is above $400,000 on a joint return, or over $200,000 on a single or head of household return. Once your AGI surpasses $400,000 or $200,000, the credit amount is reduced by $50 for each $1,000. Everybody, up to $1,400 of the child tax credit is refundable for some lower income individuals with dependents. But you must also have at least $2,500 of earned income to get a refund. And thanks to the American Rescue Plan, the 2021 credit is increased to $3,000 per dependent. For many families, the credit is also refundable for 2021. In addition, everybody, the IRS will pay half of this year's credit in advance by sending monthly payments to families from July to December of this year. Now, the new American Families Plan, if enacted, would generally extend the 2021 child tax credit enhancements all the way to 2025. There would be one important difference. The new plan will make the credit fully refundable on a permanent basis. Now, for the earned income tax credit, it provides an incentive for people to work. And under the American Rescue Plan, more workers without qualifying children will qualify for the credit on the 2021 tax return, and the childless